Dallas Mavericks have rolled the dice and have taken a gamble going out and trading for Kyrie Irving. Luka Doncic now finally gets the chance to play with his first real superstar level teammate in Kyrie. Kyrie, in terms of just pure basketball talent alone, will be the best teammate Luka will get a chance to play with so far in his young career. Better than Porzingis and better than Brunson respectfully, even though Jalen Brunson is killing it this season. How they mesh and fit on the court is still up in the air, but even if they can't figure out a way to play off each other right away from the jump, Kyrie is his own offense. Doesn't need to play, hell, doesn't even need a screen and can just go get him a bucket while Luka gets a break. However, play every coin, there are two sides to this one. Now on one hand, the Dallas Mavericks have found a way to get Luka another star teammate over there in Kyrie. But on the other hand, they gave up their best perimeter defender in Dorian Finney-Smith and their third best player, Spencer Dinwiddie. And we might as well just address the elephant in the room. Kyrie Irving is a free agent this summer, meaning he could just up and leave, and we know he has no problem doing that. And this big gamble will have been, well, a gamble. But could you just imagine if Kyrie Irving doesn't re-sign with the team this summer? They found a way to lose Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Kyrie Irving. Going forward from there, the Dallas Mavericks will be in a pretty bad spot. It is very imperative that this summer, the Dallas Mavs find a way to keep Kyrie. Before we get back to the video, man, just real quick, be sure to drop a thumbs up on this video if you're feeling it. Hit that subscribe button, it helps the channel out a ton, and even turn on post notifications to know when we drop videos over here on Self Check. Let's get back to the video. How these two will fit together is something I know hoop fans all across the world are waiting to see and definitely will have their eyes on. Call me crazy, but I think it has a higher possibility of working than not. So far, what I've seen in this small sample of games from them is pretty much what I expect to see. When either one of them is ready to cook in isolation, the other one basically kind of just gets out the way and lets the other one do their thing. If the defense doubles up, then they'll make the right play because they got high IQs. For whatever action J-Kid is using Luka in, he's using Kyrie in the exact same set. J-Kid can do that because once either one of these guys in the middle of the defense, it's pretty much a done deal no matter who it is, Kyrie or Luka. Or because Kyrie commands a lot of defensive attention too, you can stagger him in Luka's minutes and let Kyrie run the show while Luka gets a breather, or vice versa. A lot of noise and chatter gets made about Luka Doncic's biggest flaw, and that's that he has the ball in his hand too much and that he's too ball dominant and doesn't play off the ball enough. With Kyrie being able to take some of that primary ball handling duty off of Doncic here and there, that'll help Luka with that high ass usage rate. It's pretty much just up to Luka to start knocking down some of these shots and he's off ball. Whether he's spotting up for three, because we know he shoots a lot of his threes off the bounce, or if he's down there playing bully ball in the paint, he just got to start putting some of these guys in the bucket, which he pretty much does. And actually, just a quick sidebar while I'm on the topic of Luka Doncic's high ass usage rate, the Dallas Mavericks have actually gotten better with implementing plays where it makes it easier for Luka to make plays without him kind of having to bring the ball all the way up court and then get into the action. They'll run like this little handoff play at the elbow to where Luka will come off the screen and then he can either kind of lob it up for a teammate for a dunk, or you can kind of just call his own number and go score. Funny thing is, the two of them have already played with players with similar skill sets from prior teams or just in seasons prior. Last season, we all know how huge Jalen Brunson was for the Mavs last season, especially in the playoffs. Being able to be that secondary option as an undersized bucket getting two guard next to Luka, and once he gets his touches, he was still able to be efficient and effective with his buckets. And don't forget, when Luka missed a couple games in that Utah Jazz series, Brunson put the team on his back and held it down until Luka Doncic got back in the lineup, giving us a preview of what was to come once he was able to kind of run his own show like he is over there doing right now with the Knicks. Kyrie, as we all know, played with LeBron James and James Harden. Actually has played some of the best ball of his career next to the two of those guys. In 2021, while James Harden was averaging the second most assists of his career playing next to Kyrie, Kyrie was serving up buckets hot and ready and put together one of the few 50-40-90 split seasons in NBA history. We all know how damn good LeBron and Kyrie were. Hell, they were so damn good, there's a possibility of a reunion coming this upcoming summer. The Mavs need to make sure they sign Kyrie. In fact, actually, I think Kyrie would rather play off ball and just allow someone else to be the guy who kind of gets the teammate good look like he did with Harden and like he did with LeBron. Actually, there was one time I remember when Kyrie was on the Cavs and Tyronn Lue said, "Hey Kyrie, I want you to play a little bit faster so we can kind of get good looks." And Kyrie said, "I don't need to speed up to kind of get a good look." Tyronn Lue said, "Hey man, not for you, but the rest of the team." Kyrie responded saying, "That's LeBron's job." And how Kyrie probably sees it now, that is Luka's job. And it's not that Kyrie can't dish the rock, because there have been plenty of games where he's been the one in charge setting up his teammates and does a masterful job at it. It's just what he does best is make dudes look silly with his ability to kind of break down a defender or defenders and just go run off bucket after bucket after bucket. The two of them for sure will need more time to gel and kind of figure out how this thing fits together on the fly. But when you have two of arguably the top 10 one-on-one players in the game and even better shot makers on the same team, you can win some of these games down the stretch while you're on the course of still trying to figure out how this thing fits. The Dallas Mavericks weren't a good defensive team before the Kyrie trade, And well, they still aren't a good defensive team post the Kyrie trade either. Basically going all in on offense for the most part. This now puts a bigger emphasis and more pressure on these guys to be amazing on offense on almost a pretty much night-to-night basis. Basically just trying to turn into a shootout and outscore the other team, which since they've made the Kyrie trade, they've done just that. In second place to only the Kings with an offensive rating of 125.3. With the playoffs around the corner and with some of the teams the Mavericks could potentially get locked into a series with, I don't like the thought of Reggie Bullock being arguably your best defender to throw at the opposing team's perimeter players. So far from what I've been seeing lately, Jay Kidd tried to put Reggie Bullock on De'Aaron Fox, and we all know De'Aaron Fox is one of the fastest players in the league, if not the fastest, and Reggie Bullock guarding De'Aaron Fox pretty much ended up in a blow by every time, and that didn't bode well like at all. Anthony Edwards was hitting this man with the Penny Hardaway 2K animation. And the other day when they just played the Lakers, LeBron was putting that man in the bucket, yelling weight room. So on top of that, they lack signs in the middle, giving up almost 51 points per game just in the paint alone. Christian Wood is a bucket, but because he's on the slimmer side, expect him to kind of give up some buckets on the other end as well. We might as well just call them the Allas Mavericks because them boys for sure ain't finna be playing no D. Luka Doncic, already at the age of 24, is stamping himself as one of the truly great players in today's game. But with greatness comes expectations, and winning is always at the top of that list. And to win, a great player needs a great team. Luka's postseason run last season was a masterful one, but it was cut short by the better team and the eventual champs. But it makes you wonder, what could Luka do if he had like a superstar right-hand man alongside him? Kyrie is battle-tested and proven, having played in and performed his ass off in a ton of big playoff games. Having a guy like Kyrie paired up with Luka going into a playoff series would mean the Mavericks arguably most nights will have 2 out of 3 best players on the court on their team, which gives them more than a puncher's chance to win that series. Only 2 teams that might have something to say about that would be the Suns and the Clippers. Luka has made it known he wants to win the NBA championship, and with the skills and wizardry he possesses, I think he checks all the boxes you could want when you're looking for a guy who's the man leading the charge for your squad. Maybe not the defensive boxes, but we ain't gonna talk about all that right now. The man is clutch, can get his own shot with ease, and he sets his guys up with great looks. The man can make magic happen. With the ball in his hand, he can't do it alone. Even though we don't necessarily know how the two of them fit together, I think having Kyrie is better than not having Kyrie. If the Mavericks don't get Kyrie to come back post this summer, that basically means you sent Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith to Brooklyn just to kind of rent Kyrie for basically just a few months. Kyrie is the big fish this 2023 free agent class. There's not one player I see that if Kyrie were to leave, the Mavericks could just give that money to a different player or players, and I would think, oh yeah, okay, they'd be all right. If it does happen and the Mavericks do lose Kyrie on top of losing Brunson, Dinwiddie, and Dorian Finney-Smith, I just know Luka is gonna be freaking furious, and I don't even know how, if that were to happen, how this team would even bounce back. Doncic has made it crystal clear he's committed to Dallas and wants to win with the Mavericks, but depending on how these next few months shake out could determine how the future of this team looks moving forward. That's why I think by all means necessary, Dallas has to do right by the Don, and not only that, they need to find some way, however they gotta do it, they have to find some way to keep Kyrie.